I know the score is what it was. You knew coming into this game. I know win is obviously the most important thing. But what else were you wanting to get accomplished?
Yeah, absolutely. I just talked to Abe and Bob about that same thing. Is I think Corban was kind of perfect because if we didn't guard them, they scored, and so when it really made us guard them, and for how many big guys we have, that can kind of be hard sometimes. So I thought some of our big guys did a great job with handling that, like Dylan. I mean, he's chasing guys all over he's a 7-footer and having to chase guys all over the place. And then sometimes as an offensive player, it's weird to play against all these smaller guys around you. It's sometimes easier to play against guys your size a little bit. But I think our guys adjusted and then handled it really well and did some good things. We didn't give up any offensive rebounds in the second half. And again, that's easier said than done because some of the shots they take are long shots and the ball bounces funny. And so I thought our guys just did a good job of just kept sawing wood. And then, the other thing I really, really needed to accomplish, not wanted, we needed it, is these guys need those minutes. Javen has played in 2 Division I games. Chris has played in 2 Division I games going into tonight. Julian, same thing. I mean, you got a lot of guys. Then you got a lot of guys that haven't been in Bronco uniform together. So those minutes are valuable, and that was the perfect scenario for us to get a lot of guys minutes, and I feel good about we got everybody pretty close to 20, and I think that's really going to help them, and we saw some good things out there. So.
Would you like getting six guys in double figures spreading the ball around?
Yeah, and 21 assists when most of we had 68 points in the paint, So sometimes I think we had more than 21 assists. That's what our players think too, because I think if we look at the film, I'll bet there was more than that because it seemed like Julian, they credited him with 5. I thought he had even more than that. He was good. Because, you think back, you think back to some of Buzo's early games. You think back to, when Max got put in the starting lineup. I mean, it took Max, I think he started that one year as 1 for 24 and then ends up becoming an all-league player. Same with Buzo. I mean, he fouled out in 9 minutes in his first game and struggled for a while. And so just getting comfortable out there and us getting comfortable more with our rotations. And because like I said that from the beginning, that, there's a lot of talent, but 8 guys that weren't in jerseys last year, Emmanuel. And so putting these parts together is going to be a work in progress. And so the value of a game like that, and I appreciate the fans coming out because it makes it even better. I mean, so it was some good things. I really like the way we kind of, especially that second unit, how those minutes were really good. And that, that's got to be a strength of ours. And I got to keep fighting to make it a strength. And, it's a 2-headed thing, though. I mean, I got to be able to put them in, but they have to earn the trust to be able to be put in. And one of the guys that I singled out with our team is the way R.J. Keene's doing his role. I mean, he's been fabulous. And, his new nickname is the Connector because he's kind of been the guy that is just connecting our team and doing the right plays. And, we've always had guys like that get a lot of minutes going back. I was thinking about Rob Heyer. Derek Marks was the MVP of the league, and Rob Heyer led us in minutes because of the value of the things that he brought. And I'm seeing some of that with RJ. So that's going to be a valuable role.
E-Man had 13 and 8 and 15 minutes. I mean, for him to prove that he can be a quality backup big off the bench, how have you liked him so far?
Oh, yeah, he's filling a big role. And then there's another big body, that can play basketball and that can switch things. And like that game was probably a lot easier for him than it is for Dylan. But I want to get Dylan a lot of minutes too, get him going, because he wasn't in our uniform last year either. And it's been 2 years, or 3 years since he's really played a lot of basketball. So that's really important too. So both those guys, I thought, did some really good things with their passing, their understanding of what we're doing, and and all the things they brought.
With E-Man, I mean, I'd get here 2 hours early, and he'd be out here with the Moats last year, one-on-one,
Yeah.
doing those workouts and stuff every game. I mean, obviously it had to be tough for him to come all the way over here and not be able to play. And stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how did you see him? He said he wanted to do everything to be as ready as he could be when his time came. I mean, how did you see him deal with last year and then, kind of coming into this year?
He's just got such a positive attitude and a work ethic, and I was nervous, really nervous about the ruling, and so I was so grateful that the right thing was done and he got to be out in a uniform, because he adds a lot to this team, and he's just going to get better and better, because like I said, this is his third college basketball game. That's hard. That's really hard. It takes a while, like I think Tyson said it to our young guys. I don't know if he scored a basket in his first 3 games, maybe one. Think about that. And then he went on to be freshman of the year. So that's where I've, talked a little bit, but probably not enough about let's have some patience with these guys. They're going to get it together, and they're working hard at it, and they're coming along. And, so now it's out of the frying pan into the fire. We got a great opportunity and a great team coming in here Sunday. We're excited about it. This team's coming off the Elite Eight that we get to play on Sunday, and a coach that I have a ton of respect for, and they've been just blasting people. They were challenged a little bit tonight, and they responded to the challenge and won by double digits, I believe. And they're a really good basketball team, one of the best teams to have. We've had some great teams come in here, Oregon, and I can list a lot, obviously the league games, but as a non-league opponent, this is one of the best teams we've ever had come in here.
You kind of touched on it, Leon, but just some of those younger guys, Chris and Julian, how do they handle this atmosphere and, everything that goes around a live basketball game?
Yeah, it's different. It takes time, and so they gotta, it's a zero-sum game, and our job is to accomplish the mission, and so you want to get them out there, but they have a responsibility to keep, but you do. There is a real. Tugboat. There's a real world to it where they have to get that experience, and so it's a game like this is really important, and that I think we're going to take away a lot from it. And one of the things, credit to Corban, if you didn't stop them, they were going to score. So we had to be able to guard and stop them. And that kid, that was one of the better performances in here as far as in that little stretch when he was just scoring. And we were scoring, but he was answering every single time. And, so that's something we can learn from. We got to be able to, when a guy gets hot, we got to be able to adjust on the fly and have a feel for it. And so that, that's a learning thing too. And who's going to be the stopper that steps up and, all right, let's shut off his water. So you can learn a lot from a game like this, even though you look at the score and think, oh, wow, it was, 100 to 65. But a lot got accomplished tonight, and I'm grateful for that.
You may not know for weeks, I know you never want to lose, but to have that San Francisco game just to, reset, or just, we talked about, maybe never too good, never too bad, but just, did that game do anything you think moving forward here just to remind you, just tell guys, hey, we're not where we need to be yet?
Well, no, we got such high character guys that there's going to be, playing Washington and BYU and playing good teams early. And that's why you see the savvy coaches doing it, and taking on challenges early, because it identifies what your problems are, because your problems can be hidden when you win by 35 or 40 or, and when you play good competition, it helps you identify your problems, and you can't find the solution if you don't know what the problem is. And so, it's helped us identify some things in all these good games. And I got such high character guys that it's just that simple. Like, all right, guys, here's what we need to get better at. How do we get better at it? And then oh yeah, this is what we do. and they do it. And so that's that's the mark of a great team, when you can identify what you have to get better at and what you are really working on, and then they can go out and do it. And I've seen that with this team so far. So that's really encouraging. And like I said, that is why it's always a work in progress. The teams that are going to get better are the ones that are going to be there in the end, and we have a lot of things we can get better at.
You touched on it a little bit about the Clemson game, but obviously playing them last year, this is a whole new team. What can you take anything from that game?
Oh, absolutely, no doubt. Yeah, because there was a lot of guys. Tyson and Omar, and Keene was there, and we had some guys that were there, and they know. And our guys are basketball junkies. They know how good Clemson was last year and what they did and what they're done. Undefeated so far, and really good players and really good system, good coaches, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have to play a great game